Welcome to the channel, guys. Mr. H here for The Lion King. We're talking Lion King reviews. Amazingly, they are here, and they're not particularly great. So what I thought I'd do is just sit here, discuss them with you, take a look at what the critics are saying, get your feedback, and then hopefully when, we all watch the movie, we can come back to this video or my review of it and just discuss it there and see if they were right or wrong. Now, who doesn't love the original Lion King? Most people like it. There's a lot of nostalgia there. But it would appear that the live action movies that Disney are doing are just not cutting it anymore. The creative void, the vacuous nature of their creativity that they seem to be running with at the moment is showing. And even the Disney shills can't hide it any longer. They obviously put a positive spin on it, of course, naturally, it's what they do. But it's pretty obvious that it's not very good. So I will say from the outset, if you like this video, hit subscribe, give this video a like and a share, all of that good stuff. But we're not going to go into like tinfoil hat territory and go, Disney shills are not being paid enough and all this kind of nonsense. There is an incentive, of course, but if people are saying that it's not very good, even with the incentive there, we know it's not very good at all. So that's really important to note. So let's take a look, right? This is on, unfortunately, Rotten Tomatoes. And the only reason we're here is because they've got a lot of critics on here sharing their opinions straight away. That's the only reason we're here. I don't care about Rotten Tomatoes, but we'll just take a look. So, it says, does the new Lion King stand on its own? Now, there's obviously, for each of these questions, there is a group of answers from reviews. Now, it says, this new version of The Lion King is sure to be a classic in its own right. It's already made my favourite film of the year. It's hard to say why it's needed when the first one already exists. As an expansion of the 1994 film, The Lion King says and adds little. Oof! And that's from Vox. Vox are like the biggest shills on the planet. And even if they can't say anything good about this movie, you know it's not very good. The Lion King doesn't want to be compared, but it doesn't want to stand on its own. It wants you to it wants to remind you of the 1994 version and make it prettier to watch. So we've just had a remake of The Lion King, basically. A straight adaptation of copyright theft anyway. Does anyone know what Kimber is? Take a look at that, you'll be surprised. Even creatively bankrupt as Disney are, they can't even steal other ideas for their own theft project. It's amazing. Everything that works in The Lion King does so through the inventions of the former film in less dazzling fashion. Now that's a really scathing review, only because you would imagine the things that they could do with the CG in this film. This film had such a high budget. They would have been able to do something better. And even if they did, it doesn't look as good in a less dazzling fashion. So it means that the original is much, much better, even in that regard. Now it says, The Lion King is beholden to the original in a way it can never escape. Most of the film feels like a little more than a cover of the original. Bad, 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 bad. And again, remember, there are incentives in place. If these people cannot even come up with anything particularly good to say about this film, you know it's not very good. Because these are the Disney shills. Rotten Tomatoes is a Disney shill website through and through. Now it says, can we appreciate it alongside the original? It's a nice compliment to the original that will answer some questions you may have had watching the animated version. Interesting. The filmmakers have crafted a complementary feature that stands to reinvigorate our love for the timeless award-winning masterpiece. So basically, it's like a good advert for the original to make you go, I liked it, but I prefer the original. That's what I get from reading that. The Lion King at least honours what came before, using current animation technology to convince us we're watching the real thing. I still think these look quite Uncanny Valley, to be honest. I know the Uncanny Valley is to do with humans and things like that, but it doesn't. It just looks a bit off, is my point. I don't think it looks that great. Is it just a shot-for-shot remake? Having just watched the original, I can confirm that many, if not most, of Lion King 2019 shots and lines are replicas of Lion King 1994, except photorealistic. That's bad. But I guess as well, one of the things to take home from this, and get this from Vox again, one of the things to take home from this is that this is not Lion King for us that have enjoyed Lion King. This is for Lion King for a new generation. But Disney fails to realise that we are the people that will be taking our kids to it. So they should probably make it somewhat exciting for us as well, because we're not going to go back otherwise, are we? That's the thing. Movies make or break on repeat viewings. They make or break on repeat viewings. And if they don't give anything interesting, no different, I just go home and watch the animated one. This zombified digital clone of the studio's first original cartoon feature is the Disney equivalent of Gus Van Sant's Psycho. Oh my god. That is bad. It's not a shot-for-shot remake of the animated classic. It isn't. Watch closely, or maybe we'll wait for someone to prove that it isn't when the DVD hits. So it is. Sarcasm, sir. You win. Technically speaking, it's a marvel. The Lion King is a monumental achievement of technology advancement. So all of these things about technology is what we'd expect. Who expects it not to be good with technology? Of course it is. We've all seen the trailers. The trailers were amazing. They showed amazing technology is my point. Now it says, can't we just turn off our brains and enjoy it? It's a movie for the senses and definitely a visually appealing film from beginning to end. There's never a moment when a full suspension of disbelief occurs. Oof, that's bad. If no full suspension of disbelief occurs, then you're not fully engrossed in the film. Does the photorealism work? The realism of the animals makes it hard to connect with them as characters. Oh, I mean, that looks great, doesn't it? Doesn't that look... it looks like it could be a photo, right? But I guess that's part of the problem. That is part of the problem. You're literally just watching lions walking around talking. The hyper-real visuals sometimes feel like they're in conflict with the Shakespearean drama and crowd-pleasing songs. And also Scar was all changed up and stuff, which is a shame. The animation is so photorealistic that it's disconcerting to see these lifelike animals walking and singing through the familiar drama. Vox really didn't like this movie, and they really are Disney shows. Like, fuck me. Has the advantage of prohibiting one's ability to tell the difference between characters. The female lions especially are nearly impossible to tell apart, and there are only two significant. Oh, that's not good. There's only two there, but you can't tell them apart. So we go on to talk about the voice performances. I believe it was an all-black cast off the top of my head, because I got the likes of Beyonce involved. Very, very big powerhouses of vocals, for sure. But it says that the voice acting really had to deliver to make sure that the audience could connect with these characters. The powerhouse cast did a good job. So that's good. Interesting here, though, it does say that the mismatch between the feeling the actor is conveying in their performance against the impassive countenance of a lion can be jarring. So... ifs and buts there, I guess, is the point there. And in terms of the classical musical numbers, like how are they? Seem fine. All the songs are pretty great in the remake except for one. I was underwhelmed, but that's, again, with just the Be Prepared one. So it all sounds the same. All sounds like everyone was fine. But it says 2019's version, shackled by its realism, ditches almost anything resembling choreography in favour of having animals do what animals do, which is mostly just run around. Yeah, a bit boring then, really, isn't it? For a musical film, that's boring. What about the new ones? So there's new ones in there. Don't be surprised to see Spirit become a strong contender for Best Original Song. Interesting. So basically people saying Beyonce's song was great. What else does the movie get right? We have more Nala than ever. And her expanded role opens up an enormous range of emotional depth. All right then. Even in Lions, we can't escape women being opened up. Crazy. I was impressed with Beyonce's voice acting. Look, it looks fine. Who cares? I'm not going to rush out to see this, but I will watch it. What do you think? Does this sound like something you're going to watch? Do you care? Like I said, I think the most important thing here, and it really, really is interesting, is the fact that even the Disney shows cannot escape the fact that it's not a very good film. It sounds mundane from what they're saying. Visually great, but mundane nonetheless, because it's everything we've seen before. That's what I'm getting from these. But what do you get? Let me know down below in the comments. If you're new here, make sure you hit subscribe. Make sure you give this video a like and a share. And yeah, thanks so much for watching. I've been Mr. H. Take care.